what evil lurks in the hearts of men. The shadow knows.
There we go. Got to unclick the mute button. Hey, everyone. How you doing out there?
Hello.
All right. Let's run up here and see who's all in here. Well, Evil Twin's been here for over an hour.
Too long.
Jake Jacobs checked in shortly thereafter. Urban Prepper was here. Cecilia Jensen's here. Blue Healer's here. Michael 58's here. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. And Jake's back in. All right. So, folks, I was hoping to get a couple of the people up here that have the level heads I was hoping for. I have a feeling that one got stuck at work, and the other one's stuck outside doing gardening still. He's been working an awful lot lately. But so what we're going to do is we're going to be do a very quick review of what I covered in the What's Your DEFCON Status Now video. And just so everybody knows what we mean by DEFCON status. And so I'll give it a couple more minutes here. And we're waiting for more people to come in. I had a fourth grandson. Well, actually, my daughter had the grandson, so I got a fourth grandson now.
What's up, Grandpa?
So, yeah, it's pulled the little thing here from my daughter on it. She texted me on it this afternoon from the hospital. Okay, so first, so it's Oliver Tiberius Barker, and my daughter texted me. Oliver was born at 1:11 in the afternoon. 8 pounds 13 ounces, doing well. He's the quietest of the four. Gave us a little scare a few hours before birth, but is moving strong. So I'm not sure what that little problem was, but he's coming back. And
he's got
I
10
know
10 toes. That's the important part.
Yeah. And I've already come up with a nickname for him, which my daughter may not or may not like. His name is going to be Overtime. OT, Oliver Tiberius. OT, Overtime. But let's see. Christy Betts has come in. Brett and Cindy's Tennessee Living. And make sure I didn't miss anybody while I was reviewing that.
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and throw this back up here this way. All right. Ron, the Green Wizard, is in the house. And guys, if you haven't had a chance to check out the Green Wizard's guide, this past Saturday we had a live stream on it with Ron here on my channel, and I believe it was 3 weeks before that on Wednesday he was on Southern Ohio Prepping's channel. Great book and great read, great information, even for a small gardener at home.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, Heaven's Essentials. All right, so now let's DEFCON. A lot of people misunderstand what DEFCON is. It's defense readiness condition. Everyone thinks that 5 is the high. No, it's not. 5 is the lowest. And so to explain that, we're going to go over here and we're going to pull it up. So DEFCON 5 at the bottom is the lowest. It's called fade. The exercise term for is fade out. The lowest state of readiness, in other words, normal readiness. Every day, everything's fine. Everything's honky-dory. DEFCON 4 is called double take. It's an increased intelligence watch and strengthened security measures. Basically above normal readiness. DEFCON 3 is codename Roundhouse. It increase in force readiness above that required for normal readiness. This is the military forces increasing their readiness. Basically, leaves are canceled. All that fun stuff, which anybody's been in the military does not like. Air Force is ready to mobilize in 15 minutes. DEFCON 2, fast-paced, the next step to nuclear war. Armed forces, other than the Air Force, are deployed and engage, ready to deploy and engage in less than 6 hours. The Air Force is stuff's in the air. They've put stuff up on DEFCON 2. Not missiles, planes, all the other fun stuff. Also means now that the Navy with their nuclear submarines are ready to push the button.
They're already ready.
Yeah, DEFCON 1, cock pistol, nuclear war is imminent, maximum readiness. Everybody's sweating like stuck pigs and praying that we can go back down to DEFCON 2.
That's where there's a whole bunch of people with a finger on a trigger button, and they're all going, please don't make me push this damn thing.
Exactly. Now, in the history of the United States, we have hit DEFCON 2 only twice. And that was during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And that was just for the Air Force only.
Hey,
and the Persian Gulf War declared DEFCON 2, the Joint Chiefs of Staff declared DEFCON 2 in the opening phase of Desert Storm. So that's your DEFCONs. Okay, we've got Howie in here.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody else sneak in while I was over reading that information?
Urban came back.
Urban came back. Cool. Okay, so this is what we're talking about when we say DEFCON. Now, that's the military. But hey, guess what? Civilians have their own similar status called OPCON. And OPCON 5 is day-to-day operations, including normal training and exercises. When they go to OPCON 4, there's a possibility of an emergency or disaster situation that may require partial or full activation. And this is for Charleston County, of their Emergency Operations Center. EOC is Emergency Operations Center. And it goes up and it goes up. And for them, their OPCON 1 is, it's a full-fledged emergency. Everything's going out. It's the highest level of emergency operations they roll out. And they're calling for the state for help. Hey, Kathy.
She's being super mod tonight.
Cool. Oh, okay. And so this is what the state and county, even some cities have set up is their OPCON to help them have a written plan in place so they know, oh, this is going on. Okay, now we're at this level of readiness. This is the things we need to, this is the checklist we need to go through. And there are checklists for every single one of these levels. I wrote checklists for the Department of Homeland Security for 41 different tactical response plans. And those plans included earthquakes, hurricanes, winter storms, pandemics, floods, wildfires, hijackings, all that sort of stuff. That was my job, was writing stuff like this up for the federal government.
Mama Z, according to OPCON, we would be at state OP2 because there is a current emergency situation in effect.
And actually, depending on your area, you may only be at a OPCON 3. In fact, some of the counties in Idaho here are at OPCON 4 because they don't have anybody has tested positive yet, but they are out doing stuff.
Right. The problem is this is a silent killer. Nobody sees it.
Yeah.
There are people that are infected that nobody knows.
And
everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So some of them are OPCON 4, some are OPCON 3. As far as their county operations are going on, with the state saying, all right, we want everybody shelter at home, unless you're essential, don't go out. So that would be OPCON 2 for the state for dealing with an infectious disease. But some of the counties are only at 4 or 3. However, 2 counties, Ada and I just forgot the other one, Bannon, are the county that Sun Valley, Idaho is in. They're rolling up at OPCON 1 because their counties are out of control. Those are the 2 hot spots in Idaho.
And
of course,
we got 5 states right now that are rolling at OPCON 5 because they think it's a joke.
Yeah. And the only reason why the one county where Sun Valley is rolling so high is because they had all these people flooding from Hollywood up there to their second residence to get away from California, and half of them were contaminated. So,
hey, Tim.
So anyway, so this is what we have for the OPCONs. Now in the thing, I'm not going to go through all different things, but this is basically a 2-sided chart for preppers. Event level talks about different events, low, everyday stuff, and things going up, 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 up. And on the other side is your preparedness level. If you're not prepared at all, you're in the red, and you start coming down as you get more prepared going through. So I think that's just about, that's it for that. So, so that's that's what, we have, someone saying, oh, we're going to DEFCON 4. No, that's not really all that bad. That's just heightened awareness. So with that,
are you ready to bug in or bug out? And why are you thinking such thoughts?
Exactly. And, taking in everything we just covered here and more of what I covered a little bit more, especially on the prepper chart on the video I put out, I think it was Sunday. That is things you need to consider. There are a lot of things to consider. That's why I've put out several videos about, writing emergency plans. And that's what, we all should have some sort of, even if it's just a little on a whiteboard, things written down, things we need, things, but, there's nice checkoff lists out there you can get, and you can download them either as a Word doc, which is better because you can change them around to meet your needs. But there's, okay, what was told Michigan can't garden. Huh. That sounds really, I'm trying to say the polite way of doing it, dumb. I could go very strong. Start taking up the levels to stupid. Yeah, we're not going to go there.
Nice Democratic governor. I'll shut up for that.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be in deep trouble.
Kathy, Inane's another one. We're getting up there to blankety blank nine.
And I'd be in trouble because I went out 4 times this week already. Oh boy. Oh well.
But you went to Walmart and you videoed it every single time.
Yep, they got me.
And you were in you weren't in Tyvek suits, but you were in.
I was covered.
Yep.
So was Charles.
Yeah. So, thanks for basically the thing about bugging out in or bugging out. All right. Bugging in, basically another word for bugging in is, and this type of event is called shelter in place. Some people say, oh, that's lockdown. No, you're just sheltering in place because people are still able to go out to go grocery shopping, still go to the doctors. Lockdown means you're not allowed to go outside your house without being arrested, period. Unless you happen to have a special ID badge saying, I'm allowed to be out here. Which my son-in-law has here because he's a healthcare provider. And he's got his letter saying he's essential and everything else. good, Howie. Go ahead and go fishing, make a video of it, and yeah.
Hey, Gunslinger, Ryan the Gamer.
Hey, Ryan. So just about everybody right now is bugging in. I don't know who's thinking about bugging out to a different location. Well, there's been a couple that said they've already bugged out to their vacation cabin, and they're up there and they're just spending the time up there till this blows over. They're not essential, so they've been laid off, and so they're out and gone. A couple others are retired, so they've gone to the vacation cabin. They're staying there. There are others that are already at their quote bug out locations. Me, my wife is still in California. They got stuff, if they need to bug out there, if it gets that bad, they will, head this way. But it's going to be dicey for her because, she can make it up into from out the house, she can make it up to Fernley, Nevada to fuel up. Then she fuels up over in Wells, and then she can make it all the way here with maybe a 1/16 of a tank of gas left. But she's not planning on that unless things get really, really bad in California. And no, they're not that bad yet. So, supply stash to base camp 1. Howie's ready. He's talking about stuff. The problem with people going to vacation cabins here in Minnesota is that they came from the hotspot in Minneapolis, not prepared, and germing the rural area. That's exactly, Kathy, that's exactly what happened here in Idaho at Sun Valley. You had all these rich people, Hollywood types, financial types coming from Southern California up here to Idaho, and they brought the crap with them. I think it was the first 20 people that tested positive here brought it in from out of state, and it wasn't. It may even been more than that. I really think they were talking about their first person-to-person transmission wasn't until like a week or two after they had their first ones up there at Sun Valley. Okay. Working from state to state is okay. Moving
or visiting is a mandatory 2-week quarantine.
Yeah.
So in other words, if I was to move to Michigan right now, which by George, I'd really love to, Charles and I'd have to be quarantined for 2 weeks.
That'd really break your heart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I live under quarantine anyway for the most part because I really don't go that many places. So it really wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit.
Yeah.
I live the life, so it doesn't bother me.
So, like my wife was saying, for her to bug out, basically it would have to get really, really ugly down there. The county she's in, let me pull that up on my little information notes off to the side here. All right. The county she's in, there are 417 cases, 7 deaths as of last night. But that county has some major division areas in it. The hills. There's areas that are just totally open in between. You got Briones Regional Park. You got the Carquinez Strait Park system. It divides the east side of the county from the west side of the county. And then you got the Concord Naval Weapons Station, which divides the far east side from Central County. There's basically 3 type of areas out there, and it's broken up by hills and parks and big parks. You were talking, 1,000-acre parks, multiple 1,000-acre parks. So, what?
Old School has a question for you.
Old School. If things get really, really ugly, will she have time to get out?
That's a decision that's going to have to be made on the fly because
down there, I talked to her about it.
This is an evolving situation for each and every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
That includes me sitting here with the understanding that I plan on bugging in. But I also have to be cognizant of the fact that it may get to a point where I have no choice but to bug out. Now, the key thing is being able to figure out when that choice has to be made in advance. Do you wait till the last second where you're going to be with 10 million other people trying to bug out? Or do you try and figure out, okay, this is going to happen. It is time for me to go ahead and go and beat the crowd.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, though, that she has done in traveling from back and forth to Idaho and traveling around up and around California and stuff, to get from out of our area, there are several avenues she can go out. There are a bunch of back roads she has traveled. The last time we traveled together going back, she brought up the GPS map system. Oh, turn here, turn. Oh, we've experimented, went to different roads. So she's done it. Something else I take a little more, makes me a little bit more ease and gives me a little more comfort. Hey, she was a staff sergeant when I married her. She's got military experience. And there are still a few pew-pews there in the house, not to mention a few more samurai swords that my youngest son is very apt with. And if the three of them have to leave, they can probably get out and get up here, by back roads most of the way. She's seen a lot of the maps and stuff, and she's actually hopefully has kept up on what's going on and everything outside of California as well. Where am I going to bug out to? Right now, in dealing with the people in town here, if it gets bad, right now there's only 2 cases in the county we're in, and they're 15 miles south across open fields in the county seat. And then the next couple of cases are 15.5 miles north in Idaho Falls, 15 miles of open farmland and stuff to travel over. Where we're at, we can lock down this town in 2 minutes. I mean, there are 4 roads in and out of the town. We can barricade those roads, and several of the community people have come to me asking, "Hey, we've been thinking about this. Is this a good idea?" Asking, I'm not going to go into all the details, but they've been coming to me with questions, and I've been giving them the logistical answers from my past experience at DHS. So, this town can be locked down in 2 minutes, and ain't nobody getting in. And we're secured. We're isolated. Yeah, we'll be under lockdown here, but everybody here has at least 3 months worth of food. Some people here I've talked to, they've got 2-3 years worth of food. It's what they do. So it's, as far as here, the only reason we see any of us having to leave, if we're fighting off a band of brigands of hundreds, and we got to do a fallback fighting as we fall back. That's the only reason why we would have to bug out of our location here. Like on some of the my earlier videos and stuff, I've talked about it. We looked for several years before we bought this place here. Tim says, not bugging out. I'm with SOP. Dig in deeper if the poop hits the fan. Okay, Ryan says he has 18 in his county. Yeah, just
many in my county. One was right next door. Oh wow.
Yeah. The only thing that does kind of scare me about California is at 16,663 cases last night that were tested, and 385 deaths that were tested. the thing is, they haven't been testing everybody. People have been saying, oh, you're okay, you're sick, so everybody else, everyone else in your family, treat it as the rest of you are sick. They're not testing them. So anyways, but for you guys, that's something you guys got to figure out for yourselves is, and don't panic about this, okay, guys, don't panic. This is just a mental exercise to do it. And the more mental exercises you do on this, if something happens, you have plans, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and you're able to function. Hang on, excuse me. As long as the road stays open as well, what makes it is that there are 160 cases in my county, and they will not lock down this town.
Well, there's probably a lot more than that because no test, no tell.
They're adding to the dragon counts if they test
positive.
Pros, test pros. It wasn't the cause of death. Yeah. So yes, all the numbers you look for out there are low, but hey guys, we know they're going to be low. We know they're slow in testing, and hopefully, some of the people, once they start feeling sick and stuff, the light bulb goes on in their head and their brain actually engages. They go, oh crap, I may be sick. I got to stay home.
Nope.
There are a few that go out there. Oh, I go out there. I got to get everything, and they're spreading it everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or they have a kid that had it, and 3 days later they're out gallivanting the countryside again. Like, oh, it's over. He's healed. It's all better. No, you need to stay quarantined for the next 7 dang days.
At least.
Oh, I know. I'm just a YouTuber.
Yeah. So you got to look at your own situations, because every state, every county has something a little different. One county might be, so populated that it's like, do I get out now, or, do I have enough food just to lock the door, shelter in place, and be in here, for the next 3 months or 2 months or whatever it takes for it to burn out. Others are out like, where I'm at, it's out so rural and stuff. It's that nothing's, there's, a bunch of farmers, and not to say negative, farmers are smart, and a few, workers and stuff, body shops, hospitals and stuff. Everyone in my town here, the word has been spread around to anybody that works. Hey, you come home, at the back door, you have a bag, or you have if your back door happens out of the mudroom where the washer and dryer is, you come in, you strip down, you throw everything in the washer on hot, you go in, you take a hot shower, and you scrub down for 10 minutes in the shower of scrubbing. So, okay, let's see what we got over here and say. Will never stop in my life. I've been with no symptoms. Could be the guy that sells the test, owns the patent for it. Okay, all right. I'm also staying in place. Like, we have many like-minded neighbors, still live rural, very good. Farms, ranches, former military. All right.
Sorry to hear that, Howie.
Yeah. School preppers has a good spot. Points. Points. Will I be safer at home or elsewhere? What am I better prepared for? Exactly, Kathy. Those are great. Those are some of the things you got to consider in making your decision whether you are going to stay there or whether you're going to bug out. In this type situation, bugging out is not necessarily the best option. If you have the supplies and stuff to lock yourself away, that's, you're better off doing that, because when you're out traveling, you're never going to tell who you're going to encounter that may be contaminated and get you sick. Whereas you're able to lock yourself up in your house and shelter in place, you're going to be fine. Let's see. All about the GUBT uniform tent sock features having switch masks, several thousand per day. Okay. Hey, Reed, manifestations of imagination. Are you still at work, Reed, or are you home? Because I would surely love to have you come up here. I sent you the link in an email. If you bug out with your stuff, how many people will try to take your supplies from you? That's the other thing to consider too, what Cecilia put up there. It's supposed to be bug out, not buy out. If you bug out your stuff, how many people might try to take what you have? Sorry, bouncing around. That's not the one I want to push either. Oh, dang. Ouch. Guys, in your prayers tonight, please include Nathan at Sampson Farm and his family. Come on. I'm trying to get this thing to release. There we go. Every time I go to click on one to take it off, and the chat slides up, and I'm clicking on a different one.
Yeah, I got an easy answer for somebody who tries taking stuff.
Oh, no, not good, Reed. Are you coming down with it, or just some other cold, or what? Or did your boss work you practically to death, and that's why you look like death warmed over? No webcam. He's on his desktop. Okay, Reed, we're all worried about you, asking whether whether it's just burnt out, stress bad, or sick bad. Okay. So there are a lot of things. I'm going to try to get try to ignore the chat here for a minute. Dave, you're on chat watch.
Great. With
You
my
see
old eyes, I can't read as it is, and you want me to watch the chat? Great. I'll try.
Yeah, you see, if you have something you want to put up here, could bring to us, put it in caps, make it easier to read.
Yeah, because I'm old.
All right. Things to consider to do in making lists. If you're going to start making lists of plan A, plan B, plan C, note paper, several of them out there, write a plan A, plan B, plan C, and just start scribbling ideas down. Unless you're really fast on the keyboard and stuff, and you get in like an Excel spreadsheet and make your columns, and you start filling your stuff. And so you decide later on that something doesn't belong in this column, it belongs in that column. You can just cut and paste, or if it needs to be in both columns, copy paste. But whatever works best for you to start making lists and working it out. There are a lot of different things to consider and cover. Some are small and minor. Some are big. When you are planning things out, you need to consider travel. Do you have a route that is safe to travel? How long is it going to take you to get from where you're at to where you want to go? Is your vehicle fully fueled?
Nope. Oh, wait, I ain't got one.
Okay, sorry.
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. Read. Oh, okay. Read. Been working around 130 hours a week for the past 4 weeks. Yeah, that kind of sucked all the life out of you. So is your vehicle full of fuel? Are you going to have to, even if it is full of fuel, are you still going to have to stop and refuel on your way to your destination. All right, Kathy, she keeps her car topped off. Do you do you have enough room in your vehicle to take enough food supplies to get you through the time frame you think you're going to need to be at your bug out location?
Hey, about $1. For me to move, I need a deuce and a half. And that's no joke. In order for me to take what I would need, I'd have to have a deuce and a half.
Yeah. Or an F650 with a 28-foot trailer with 3 axles under it.
Hey, that would even be better. Then I could just take everything I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then live in the trailer.
All right. So Michael's at his destination. Yeah. So, those I used to poke fun at those, what are they called? The technical term for them. The trailers where they got like a bedroom up front and they got all the sports, all their dune buggies and, quads and stuff in the back.
They're car haulers, what they are.
Toy trailers. That's what they classify them as, toy trailers. I used to poke fun at people that had those. Until I was talking to one of the guys, and he said, "Oh, I know they're they're for toys and stuff, but if I'm not hauling toys, I got a living room up front. I do have camping gear, tents and stuff in there all the time, up in the shelves in the back. I have a lot of gear in there all the time. I don't have to take my toys. I can load it with all sorts of food and everything else, and get out of Dodge, and I can live out of my trailer." Because the toy trailers have the water heater, they have a propane stove, they got a little refrigerator up front, not a big one like most travel trailers would have. It's a small one. But he says he's got stuff in there he can get by with, and it'd be like camping with a little extra luxury.
Yep. They also got generators as a rule.
Mm-hmm.
Generators are big enough to power a house because they have to power air compressors and everything else in them trailers.
Yeah.
So the generators are actually usually pretty good sized.
Yeah. Okay, building stuff that doesn't exist so people can work from home. Oh yeah, Reed was his company was slow on getting the teleworking system set up, and then all of a sudden, do it now. One of the things I did see one toy hauler I thought was really cool, and it's perfect for a situation like that. The entire top of the trailer was set up with solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
And he could tilt it one way, or he could lock it down to that side and tilt it the other way, depending on how he parks and where the sun's at. And they're secured down, so he can do, across Nevada, he can do 75, 80 miles an hour and not have to worry about them flopping off. Bottom dollar brings up a good point to consider. Another point to consider in your plans. The road is a dangerous place with family. And where he's at, he has numbers for protection where he's at.
Yeah. Kathy, just remember, tell them to watch the program they're using. While I can't guarantee where the information is currently going, Zoom goes through the CCP before it actually gets used by the end user. So they love to be perverts when they look at your stuff.
Yeah. China in Focus YouTube channel, it's a news channel, put out a video
last night.
2 days ago.
Last night.
I thought it was a little.
Video came out 2 days ago, maybe. But our
here.
time.
Okay. Where is it here? Okay. China ordered 200,000 body bags from Taiwan. The
U.S. calls for help or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
Hold on, I can tell you.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, it was on April 6th, so it was yesterday. Yesterday morning, they put out a video It's China calls for cooperation with the U.S. over Zoom susceptible to CCP infiltration.
Yep. 700 current employees over there under control of the CCP.
Yeah. So
good, Kathy. Thank you.
Go ahead and sorry, let's see what we got there. Okay. So get back over here where I can see what's going on. Yep. There we go.
Would have never guessed that, old school. Never guessed
it. So you have to consider in your plans is, can you get from point A to point B safely? Do you have multiple routes? Do you have those planned out so you can get from point A to point B? Is it really worth, important, is it really worth the effort, the hassle to bug out? Unless you're in an area that there's going to be rioting and you're worried about people breaking into your home, until you're at that level, which I would consider, if you're worrying about that, you get things in the area getting bad like that, that puts you up onto DEFCON 2 or OPCON 2 level. When they start coming into your neighborhood doing that, now you're at level 1. Then that might be a time to get the heck out at high noon when you can.
Like I said, I got a solution for those trying to break into my house.
Yes. So do a lot of others.
Me's ready.
Now, last few months.
Hey, Lone Star.
Got, what is it? Hey, Lone Star. Last few months got into the house when it's just a few moths got in the house. Cats are so the cat's keeping the infiltrators at bay. All right.
Shoot videos of that. You'll go viral and make a fortune off YouTube. Not. You may go viral, but you won't make a fortune.
Okay. All right. In your preps, have you ever considered the possibility? Some people have never even considered having to bug out to get out of Dodge. Some, that's part of their main thing is, their main plan is, oh, okay, anything goes wrong, I'm bugging out. I don't want to be disparaging towards either group. I like to be of the mind to keep your options open. If you're, some people, some channels like, oh yeah, we're going to be bugging out this, that, and the other. We got our place up, so and so, and he just says where he's going to. Well, he's not up there all the time, and he has all these supplies up there all the time. Kathy is on a roll with all these things, guys. People that talk about their bug out locations when they're not up there all the time, or even up there every 3 months, they may get up there and find their place cleaned out. Lone Star Prep, staying at home as long as possible. Yeah. And how long that is something you have to decide. Hey, Campy's Bear Creek Homestead. You've got to figure out is, when is enough? When is it going to be time to say, time to cut and run, time to get out of Dodge, and for the safety of you and your family to leave? And it's that safety point that you have to consider when you're thinking about leaving. If the roads are totally terrible and you hear about all sorts of problems on the road, it may be better to bite the bullet, stay in place, and get ready to do battle there to protect your home and your family there. And Gunslinger threw up the very good point. Timing. Timing is everything. There are, for this type of event, generally, unless you're in, which I think nobody here is in that situation, in an area like, and please don't take this racist or anything, Harlem, Watts, Richmond, California, where you have, Pittsburgh, where there are, Oakland, where they have riots all the time at the drop of a hat. Unless you're in an area like that, I would strongly suggest you look at all options of staying put. It's just, for the most part, like, being out on the road is not your best option, especially if you got a long ways to go to get to your safe haven, your backup location, your bug out location, whatever you want to call where you're going to. Whoa. Kathy, you can't get canning lids? And Reed, you can't get canning lids either? Am I reading that right? Okay, seeds are getting scarce. People are buying up tons of seeds, and they'll probably never plant a third of them. Okay, I'm just catching up here on the side chat on some of the conversations here on. Yep, a bit over. Going over. Okay. Just reading everybody's suggestions here, guys. Check out, make sure you're reading this side chat here too. Okay, glad I got a bunch of candy lids. Got them on sale last year. Okay.
Hey, Detroit.
Yeah. Hey, Detroit prepping. How's it going up there where you're at? What's the situation look like around you? Are people getting stupid up there yet? Or they all find a supply of common sense?
There is no common sense left in Detroit proper.
I wasn't going to say that. I was trying to.
Well, I was born and raised there. I'll say it. I ain't afraid. Ain't scared.
Wow, I have to double check, because when I was in Walmart a week and a half ago, they were packed full of canning supplies.
Mine was too. Mine still has some.
Wow.
And mine still has seeds. Lots and lots of seeds, because we're in an urban area and nobody has any place to plant.
Yeah. Wow. Cecilia's busy canning. Detroit, he says it's quiet and empty where he's at.
He's in one of the better areas, then.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't even looked at the ball canning supplies on Amazon, but they've all tripled in price.
Yeah, I noticed that when I went to Walmart. Everything that used to be really cheap is suddenly a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Walmart's price gouging. They're just doing it little increments at a time.
Yeah. And they're going to go up a bunch, and we're going to roll it back 50 cents. And I put up signs, roll back.
That last thing of toilet paper I bought, which is the last type of decent stuff, because I usually get White Cloud, and they were out of that, and they were out of Sherman, so I got the stuff that I got. But it normally sells for $7.98 a 6-pack or 8-pack. I mean, this time it was $10.43 a 8-pack. But seeing as how they're tied into the government as tight as they are, the government won't go after them for price gouging.
Yeah. And if they can show that their suppliers have raised the cost as well. Stores are empty of supplies. Let me just throw this up here. As they've been lining people up for hours before they open, letting in 6 at a time. Wow. Man. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, everyone here seems to be getting their prepping stuff here in line here. And let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, we're caught up on this thing here. And we're at 20. Vendors and distributors have raised prices. Yeah, I think you're right, Dakota and family. It's I think the whole system is, everyone down the line is increasing their price a little bit, and there's an automatic formula engaged in pricing as you move up the line, so they maintain their profit. So the first person raises at 5 cents, and that raises at 6 cents at the next station, and 7 cents at the next one, and 9 cents at the next one. So by the time it gets to you, it's gone up 50 cents. I do drive up, pick up at Walmart. Have to order online 2 days before. By the time I go pick it up, a lot of things are gone. Okay, Reed's looking at putting in a bunch of good amount of high-calorie items, potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, grains, and such, but also fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Well, now it's I'll just get warmed up enough where I can safely do some stuff here. I got to go up to the nursery up in Idaho. It's at the south end of Idaho Falls, and see about getting some of the more trees that I wanted to get and get some planted out here before the prices on those go up, because those haven't been hit yet on price, as far as I know. I've been still getting the sales ads from them. Yeah. Yeah, Tim, down here at the Home Depot down here in Idaho Falls, they've blocked all the doors except for one for entrance, and they got signs on the exit saying "Do not enter," entering forbidden, an arrow saying "Use that door over there." So they haven't started limiting people going in yet, but I have a feeling that may be coming.
Unfortunately, that line, like I showed my videos at my local Walmart, people walking underneath the line just to try and cut in front of other people. People trying to maintain 6 foot distance.
Yeah.
I got people running up underneath it, mainly younger people, no masks, no gloves, looking at everybody like they're all stupid. And in my personal opinion, they're the ones that's stupid.
Yeah. Makes you want to be able to walk the line with a stun gun or cattle prod, get out of line, get back to the end.
Cattle prod my stepdad used to have. It was 8 foot long, had 8 D batteries in it.
Yeah. Fun one.
When that strong of one lights a bull up and drops a bull to its knees, yeah, it'll work real good on humans.
Yeah.
I miss they made the dang things illegal. Damn Peter. Hey Josh.
Hey Josh. Yeah. So it sounds like everybody here on the chat, that's in the side chat. I know we got 21 watching here, 16 likes, 1 dislike. Someone took offense to. Aw. Hopefully they're long enough to account for increasing my times.
Yeah, it only takes 10 seconds. It counts for a minute. So
yeah. So the
Dakota, there is that possibility. Yes, I'm not saying it will happen, but there is that possibility if certain people don't start heeding the warnings put out by, unfortunately, the CDC, like wear a mask. It's not going to go away.
Ooh, cool, Howie. Said the report said the FBI caught a bunch of swatters.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good to see they're still doing their job.
I hate canned spinach, frozen. Yeah, I agree with you. Did I get the right one? Did I catch it in time? Nope, it was strong, but I agree with Martha. I hate canned corn. I hate canned spinach. My wife hates it. We'd rather get it and freeze it and, do it ourselves. My mom used to do blanch and freeze on vegetables and stuff, on the squash and stuff.
Good job, Josh.
What I miss? Get back down here. Yeah, sure did.
That makes two of us. I wish I had one.
Yeah, I wish I had a freeze dryer too. I mean, right now, it's sunny all day today, and I was only able to get out there for about 15 minutes on the tractor, come back, check on the kids. I'm watching all the kids. One, I had put one down for his afternoon nap. The other two were glued to the TV, watching Kung Fu Panda 1. And when I went out, came back in, and they were still glued there. I started to go out, and I heard them start yelling. Turned around, they heard me, and gotta have grandpa time, or gotta have adult time. Delta Papa. Yep.
Pew pew. Yum yum.
That's not even a pew pew. That's probably a.
Hey,
Okay.
anything that shoots a projectile out that's made of lead, steel, or copper is a pew pew.
Oh, guys. All right. So, everyone, in your prayers tonight, please include Jenny, that she stays safe while she's stationed there at the medical center. Southern Wisconsin. Yeah. I'm just hoping that my son-in-law comes home for a couple hours tomorrow during the daytime, so I can get out there on the tractor. It's supposed to be nice and sunny. I get out there and get some more work done out there, and I can see about getting it ready for planting some corn and stuff out there, or squash or whatever. All right, so Kathy's daughter is an ICU nurse.
Be right back.
Yeah. Yeah. People forget about. Very good point, Cecilia. I'm not sure what the storage time is on it. The shelf life of the protein powders are. But if you guys can find one that has been set up for long-term storage, yeah, especially strawberry. All right. So I think we're all pretty much here agreed that in our situations, all of us as a whole in the community here, we're not in a situation right now where we're going to have to worry about bugging out. Now for the next question, which I didn't even hint on this one. I hope there's enough people here to consider this. What about other family members not in your area that are in a more urban area or a more hotbed zone where they might have to bug out? Would you be able to receive them and give them shelter Like if it'd be great, if someone's coming to bug out to your location, if they have a travel trailer and you're able to hook it up to the clean out of the house sewer system, so they can stay in their trailer for 2 weeks, so they can go through their 2-week quarantine that way. But all right, Kathy says yes. All right. Our shelter in place expires at midnight. Governor wants another 70 days. Our Congress wants 23 days.
The governor's correct in what it needs.
Yep.
Another 70 days.
Yeah.
But I also understand people need to work.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Reed has 6 tents for people any relatives that may have to bug out to his location. That's good.
To get another one, even though where I'm at, they'd have to go tent out back behind the church, but it's a relatively decent enough area, and I've got a clear enough view I can keep an eye on it.
Okay. Hey, Reed, you're talking about stuff that in your preps that you've missed. Let me see here. I get the right one here. I think it's that one. Yeah. We bought some stuff in 1971 from Sam Andy. Unfortunately, the company went out of business. They didn't have a good marketing person. And when Mountain House and these other ones went in, they got pushed to the wayside. But we bought a year's worth of flute number 10 cans back in 1971. When my mother had to move from the place she was at, my daughter and I got all the supplies and stuff because she was moving in with us. We started testing some because, hey, this stuff was bought in 71 and here it is, 90s and 90s, and actually it was into is after 2000 actually. And we started testing some stuff. The flour was nasty. It picked up all the metal can from it. The wheat that was in the cans was still good. It didn't pick up the metal flavor like the flour did.
Anyway, Reed, I can't stand condensed milk.
Yeah. The banana chips and the apple chips were still delicious, still good after 30 years. So some of your preps that may be quote expired maybe still be good depending on the company, how they were canned, and what they were good for. Okay, I see some how good of family members are we talking about here? Oh, yeah.
I'm fortunate. I only have very few family members left, and they're pretty well far enough away. I don't think they're going to be showing up at my house. The only ones that might are my 2 oldest boys, and I doubt they'll come here.
Yeah.
Because I already know what they'd bring. Nada.
Yeah.
Dude, can you take care of us? How do you expect me to do that? I got to take care of me and Charles. I got enough for us. I don't have enough for 10 million people.
Yeah. Yes, Cecilia, the company that did this canning, the flour was supposed to be good for 20 years in the can. It was done with nitrogen filled and stuff. But at 30 years, I started picking up the taste of the can. However, we did not just throw it out. What we did was we contacted the local elementary school where they do make paste and stuff, paper mache and stuff, and flour stuff, and told them what we had, and they were eager to take it because nobody was eating it. They were making stuff out of it and craft stuff out of it, so it went to good use there.
Yay!
Yep.
Paying it forward, even if it took 30 years to do it.
Yep. So I think they got something like there were 6 cans to the case, and I think there were 8 cases we had to get rid of.
All right, but now that everybody's figured out when they're either bugging in or have plan B for bugging out, do you have your bug out bag or bags, depending on the number of people, ready for such a situation? Or are you going to have to put it together at the last second to go? I have a bag packed for me, a bag packed for Charles. I have a med bag as well as a food bag packed.
Mm-hmm.
So his bag he can carry, I can carry mine. And now that the addition of this little teeny cart, I can pull the other 2 bags as well as 2 or 3 more if I need to.
Yeah. I got a little 10-foot single axle travel trailer that I got a bunch of stuff moved into during the sunshine over the last couple of weeks, so that if I have to, I can back up, hook to it, and all right. Good night, Grampy Campy, Bear Creek Homestead.
Hey, Delta Papa, foreignmre.com, they do a lot of YouTube videos as well, and they've checked some from the 80s, early 90s, and they still tasted fine.
It also depends on, like for MREs, how they're stored. If they're kept in a cool, dry place, they keep a lot longer than if you have them out in the garden shed in the back or out in the garage, the uninsulated garage in Southern California.
Yeah, you want to treat MREs like mushrooms. You want to keep them in the dark.
And cool.
Just don't feed them poop.
Yeah.
They don't grow like mushrooms, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hey, Wayne.
The reason I said bug out bag is because that's what most people understand as I'm leaving. But, whatever you want to call it, it's the bag system that you're going to use if you leave your place of current residence and have to head out somewhere other than what you planned.
Yeah.
It's your plan B, C, whatever. Some people call them bug out bags. Others call them evac bags. Irregardless of what you want to call it, tomato, in an essence, I'm not dissing anybody's terminology, but everybody has to have a kit of some sort that they can grab and go with. And if you don't have one, now is definitely time to start considering putting one together.
Yeah.
But also remember one thing: none of us should be looking at an inch bag, because this will end eventually, and eventually you will come home.
Yeah. Yeah. There, in the last 15 years or so, we've gone from having basically 3 types of bags to having like 15 types of bags. Everyone wants to throw a new name on it and say, well, this is good for this, but this other one's been around forever, which covered everything. No, that only covers this now. To me, it's kind of like, you got your get home bag, you got your bug out bag, and you got your rat fed bag. Now, the get home bag, obviously, to get you home. Bug out bag is to take care of you getting out, and the rat fed bag that's the one's been around since the 60s, and nobody hardly ever hears about it, does anything about with it, and that's called Run Away to Fight Another Day bag. So that's one, like, here, mine would be, I have a rat fed bag that I'd take off.
Yes,
I have several days worth of food in it, and I have plenty of freedom seeds and other toys, and it's so I can get out and come back. Rat fad. Hey. Run away to fight another day.
Hey.
Yep.
Look at Lisa's comment.
Lisa. Yes, Lisa, you did. My 4th grandson was born at 1:11 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Get that back up here again, and I can tell you the stuff on it. 8 pounds, 11 ounces, and I'm going to go over to the other message. I got 2 different messages on it. There we go. And he was 21 inches long.
Actually, Kathy, rat fat would also work. Run away to fight again today. Because sometimes you just run away so you can come back at night and beat them back up.
Mm-hmm. And one of the objects of the rat fat bag, one of the premises behind it is that you run away, and everyone that has taken over your location, they're going to be out partying now because they've gotten into some of your stash, especially the alcohol, and they're going to be so blitzed you can just come back that night and retake your property.
Hello, Jack.
Thank you, Lisa Lee. Hey, thank you, Jack, through Jack's camera. So, yeah, you're, how do I put this? Okay, guys, if you haven't seen one of my old videos, and I will give you the number for the video here in just a second. It's a 3-part video. Yeah, I used to teach this at seminars and preparedness fairs, and even at government seminars to the government employees on planning. Okay, so hang on a second. Here we go. Scroll down, going through all my old ones here. Actually, I should have gone just to the playlist, been quicker probably. Quarantines, earthquakes, definitions of disasters. So it's before definitions of emergency type classifications. Okay. All right, there it is. Okay. Videos number 54, 55, and 56. Planning for Emergencies, part 1, 2, and 3. And basically, it's without the PowerPoint that, if I'd known about recording stuff on StreamYard, I would have been able to put the PowerPoints in there. So I made later this summer redo those with the PowerPoints of all the nice fun stuff in it. But the PowerPoint is available on the Asset Center webpage, which Kathy just threw up there. The Planning for Emergencies walks you through the steps on plannings for Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and such. So when you go to look at it, if you're trying to find it just by the thumbnails, look for I can't think of the guy's name now. The Disney characters, Von Drake Duck, and then Scrooge McDuck and Darkwing Duck are on each of them are on one of those video thumbnails. So
It's life. Are you trying to say you a duck?
No, it's basically part of your planning is to duck. Keep your head down for emergencies.
Nah, I was too tall and I can't bend over like that no more. I'll just wear some armor. I'll armor up.
Or you do like my cousins and stuff doing when they're doing the role-playing game, and they're out in the battlefield, and all of a sudden one guy he says, "What's your character doing now?" He's standing against the wall, going, "I'm one with the wall. Nobody sees me. I'm one with the wall. Nobody sees me."
No, I'm just gonna walk in the room like John Wayne did. I'm gonna walk in like I own the dang place, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Nobody messed with the Duke.
Yeah. So there's emergency planning, important. Some simple steps. You don't have to make a separate plan for each and every event. You make like a base plan, and then you off that base plan you do, well, I need specific things for a wildfire. I need some specific things for a hurricane. And you have sub plans off of that. And that's all in the videos there. Thank you, Kathy.
Again.
Queen
of the mods, at it again. And remember,
so what's everybody having for dinner?
Treat your mods with respect. Make sure you give them a thumbs up.
Well, Reed, I had bacon quesadilla for dinner.
I had burgers and potato tots. Charles wanted some tater tots, so I figured burgers was the best thing to go with it.
Yeah. But yeah, so guys, as you plan things out, you know, you got to remember the old adage, no plan survives contact with the enemy.
The best laid men, I can't even talk. The best laid plans of men are destroyed by mice. Remember that as well.
It's the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry.
No,
I love that quote.
I like my version better.
Destroyed by mice, they had to get to your food.
Exactly. It's about the time you fall asleep in some field and you wake up in the morning, you got holes in all your food.
Yeah. And just lost it here for a second, guys. Rewinding the brain. Okay, Sun Tzu, The Art of War, has some very good adages about planning and preparing. But what? Where?
You said Sun Tzu's Art of War. I said that should be a required read.
Exactly. Yes.
And I was replying to Wayne's comment about the WHO saying they're going to go take people out of their homes. Yeah, I don't think they better try that around here.
WHO won't do that in the United States. They will not be recognized as an official government entity by the citizens of the U.S.
But the Democrats already have made that proclamation that they would be willing to go along if it was in the interest of public safety and health. Thank you, Miss Pelosi.
And she'll be one of the first ones we will order the WHO to take. Then you will see how she likes that.
Come on, I've seen it. She wiped her mouth and touched the podium. She's contaminated. Get her. Please.
Look at her face. She's got some disease. Oh, she looks like that all the time. Through Jack's camera, yes.
My son has better finger discipline and pulls it better than I do. So all I'd have to do is tell him it's not real, it's blank, and he'll pull the first one off with no problem. By then I should be able to take over.
Yeah. Well, it's like I love my boys. They went to scout camp, and when my oldest one went to take the shooting merit badge, I didn't have high hopes because he had never shown much interest in going out to the gun range with us. This stinking little sucker on the qualifying they have to hit a size of a quarter so many times. He hit every shot he was on the range into the same target in the size of a dime. And it's like, wow, okay, you're good. But to him, it was no big deal. Now, when he got on the shotgun, oh man, he was in love with the shotgun. He was up there, and they had to hit, I forget how many, out of 10. I think it was like 7 out of 10 of the clays. He was on 60 in a row. When they told him, okay, you got it, because hardly anybody was shooting, and he just kept on, another, and he got to 60 in a row on the clays. Can we air gun some germs her way?
I've been trying. Just getting from Ohio to DC is not exactly the easiest thing.
Yeah, well, I thought of some other stuff here, but then unfortunately that violates federal laws.
Yes, you can't mail it, dang it.
Yes, you can't mail stuff to her.
Nope.
Here's a handkerchief for you.
You'd be surrounded by men in black suits. Hey, Outer Garden. Hello.
Lisa, I can't hit the broadside of a barn with a shotgun.
All you need is one shot to hit. That's all that matters.
Hey, Outer Garden.
Close your eyes. Stand with your hips facing your target. Put it on the right side of your hip and pull trigger. You should have no issues after that. Because if you close your eyes, instinctively.
Frozen food I can. Ooh, okay. Other information people for us. So up there, north of the border, I guess one area lost power for a day and a half. So she's canning all the stuff that she has to freeze. So she's canning her meats and stuff and everything else in the jars, doing regular pressure canning for it.
Looking at it wrong there, Wayne. Your house is not a tactical nightmare. You actually have funnel points giving you a better option and advantage. Reverse your thinking.
No, no, he's made it a nightmare for any intruder.
Because I have a nice, big, long, steep stairwell. They won't like the funnel fire.
Everybody, Kathy made 2,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. Channel under review for monetization. Woohoo! Yeah. Okay, so on that line as well, let me.
I'm too far away. Don't worry about me. I'll just drift off into the distance.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, my 1,000 subscriber giveaway is still going on, and I am I'm only 500 hours away from. I'll get that by the my watch hours by the end of the month. But I'm gonna need 145 more subscribers, and you can win some of those 10 prizes. With it's not just 10 single prizes; it's 10 groups of prizes. All you need to do is make a shout out video and get some people to come over and join and watch 3 videos and say that you sent them, and you're entered in to win that. So all you do is got to get some people to come on over. Right now, first place has gotten 10 people to come over. So if you can get more than 10 people to come over, hey, you can take first place. Especially, well, Grampy Campy's checked out already, so you can knock Grampy Campy out of first place.
And don't worry, I didn't enter, so y'all good.
And if anybody here is not subscribed to Manifestations of Imagination, all right, yeah, he has some really good videos. If you haven't checked him out, go check out his videos. He has some really good ones on solar power, doing water plumbing and stuff. He has some really cool videos. And the poor guy has been worked like a slave for the last several weeks by his ill planning managers.
I'll say it right. There is Commandant. Sounds like more like Colonel Klink than Sergeant Schultz, but it sounds like maybe Colonel Klink has a Sergeant Schultz just above Reed there. So
yeah,
a bunch of.
I think it was more along the lines of General Burkhalter not being able to make up his mind what they're going to do until the last minute. And if anybody don't know who we're talking about the TV show Hogan's Heroes.
And I had a relative in that, Richard Dawson. He's an uncle.
And what do we got here? So,
Miss Kathy posted your planning for emergency videos.
Yes, I saw that second time around now. So, how to garden is that 7 under 20?
720.
At 720. Yeah.
I've been stuck at 730 something now for the last 3 weeks, so that's good. Someday over the rainbow.
Yeah. So, yeah. So my big thing I want to push to everybody right now is make sure you have plans. Whether you implement the plans or not, that's another thing. Having a plan, having several plans actually will reduce your stress level. Because we worried about you already planned it out, you've already gone through it. It's like, okay, I know what I have to do if this happens, and I know what to have to do if that happens. So, all right, Mama Z's hit 650 today. Woohoo!
Oh, yay!
Another great channel to go down there and watch after you've eaten.
You don't want to go watch your stuff. It's some little old crazy lady from down in Texas who tells you where to bear crap in the woods and tells you get off your booty and get it done. You don't want to watch it, do you? Welcome back, Julie.
Hey. Yeah, it just got dark over there, didn't it, Julie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Been out there playing in the dirt again.
Yep. I would love to be out playing in the dirt myself. Oh, yeah.
Just search for DHS tabletop exercises.
Yeah, there are a lot out there, and you know, FEMA has a lot of training for exercises as well.
Mm-hmm. But one thing you need to do is need to running these exercises in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get your brain prepared to actually start thinking about this stuff, when it happens, your brain's going to lock up and you're going to stand there like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
She knows I was kidding, Tim. We love Mama Z.
Yes. As I said, but you got to go there after you're eating. Otherwise, you're going to be so starved for food watching what she's cooking.
Same with Mouse Toes.
Yeah.
She's another Southern lady. And she'll tell you, get off your butt and get it done. She don't mince words.
Yeah.
Just fair warning, do not try sneaking on her property. She will bust a cap in you with no issues. And she'll ask questions afterwards. She don't ask first.
Let me see if I can look something up here real quick here for you guys while I'm thinking of it.
Just remember, FEMA is only good for online activities. Do not expect FEMA to come to your door and offer help.
Okay, here we go. All right, so guys, what you do is what I just Googled was FEMA independent study courses and FEMA training.gov, training FEMA. Yeah. So you can go in here to see which one comes up the best here. I'll go this one here is more updated. And there is, yeah, all the different types of courses and stuff. But you go in independent study courses available free of charge.
Well, see, Tim, I'm fortunate. They don't need to come to my place for wellness checks because I already have a fairly decent communication standard with the local sheriff. So I'm good at my house. If they come out here, they'll be visiting the neighbors, not me.
Okay, they changed the format here of it again. Somebody had to go in there and start playing around again.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, I got to justify my having a job, so I'm going to, quote, make it better. Yeah, just make it so you can't.
He's just trying to justify the fact that he thinks he's essential.
Exactly. Here we go.
You have to go back and fix it.
So this is the one. The link. Put it in there. Boom. So you start out with independent study course number 3, and you go through a whole bunch of different ones for all sorts of different weird things you look through, but there are some interesting ones in here. Let's see if I can find if they redid it. No, they have not redone it. Dang it. Number 50, IS 55 was household hazmats. Really good place. One for the home. I don't know why they pulled it, but if you want the course, guess what? I downloaded everything from it, and it's on the Asset Center website under free documents. Incident command system, something everybody really should learn and understand. Introduction to incident command system. ICS 100.
Suggestions for non-mobile family members. Do the best you can with what you got. I know it sounds kind of lame, but you can only do so much.
Yeah. You know, they used to have stuff in here talked about persons with disabilities in emergencies.
And it also depends on their disability. I mean, are they required to have oxygen? Then you need to make sure you have a way to make that oxygen portable via some battery operated machine or canisters.
Here it is.
Wheelchair bound. If they're wheelchair bound, may want to look into getting some kind of powered mobility for them. If it's other, well, I mean, every individual case is going to require different procedures to get through it. To try and describe every single procedure in one live stream will take several hours to get, a really good baseline of information out there.
Okay, so here are some courses, people. Planning for the needs of children in disasters, including peoples and with disabilities and others with access functional needs in disaster operations. Protecting your home or small business from disaster.
Yes, Tim. There sure is a suicide epidemic.
Yeah.
So there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of different ones. You got to go through and just read through them. Some of you go, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Oh, sounds good. And as you go through and you find out different courses they have in here. I'd probably say they've changed up a bunch of courses here. I'd say I still probably have 3/4 of these done. I had to take them for part of my job. Active shooter, emergency management for senior officials.
I don't get that either, Wayne, because the only way they're going to get bruises is if they're wearing those straight. They're not changing them out. And if you wear them straight for 6, 8, 10 hours, and they're not taking them off properly, they're just ripping them off, then they'll get the bruises. But if they're taking them on and off the way they're supposed to, and they're being careful and they're switching them out, they shouldn't have an issue. But I'm not there, so I don't know.
Yeah, Wayne. I mean, I went through the hazmat training, and I used to, for several years, I never got a bruise from my equipment. The only time I got a bruise is when I slipped and landed on my knee.
Well, that was just plain clumsiness from old age, but we won't tell nobody.
No, that was the fact that there's some leaves blown over some grease. So when I stepped on it, my foot went.
Oh, they're going to have to provide proof who they are before I even open the door. If I see somebody looking like they're FEMA or anything else, I'm going to tell them, you need to give me a phone number I can call to verify who you say you are. Otherwise, you're going to meet the tip of a sword as you walk through my door. So you better provide the information or you ain't going to make it home to your family.
Yeah.
And if you provide me with proper information, then come on in and test away. I'm healthy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and that's something you need to watch out for. Where was that at?
It's gotten worse, Gil. It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
I know mobile stations set up with people claiming to be testers, and they're charging $200 a person to test them for COVID. $200, and people are paying it. Sorry for throwing the word out there, but people are lining up and paying these scam artists $200 to get testing that they're really not testing for anything because it's a scam.
Yeah.
As well as the people walking up to your door saying, "Hello, I'm with the CDC and I'm here to test you." No, you ain't. Get off my property.
Yeah.
If they're here, I'm going to tell them, look, you're on federal property right now. You've already violated a federal law. Either leave or I will see to it that you will not be able to see your grandkids born.
Okay, do I got it over here? There's an image here I want to try. There we go. Here it is. Okay. Put these doofuses up here. Okay, there are these idiots going around door to door saying they're testing from the health department. But if a doofus comes up, you got one wearing one type of mask, another wearing a different type mask. There's your first clue that they're full of El Toro poo-poo. And then this one's wearing a beanie, and this one's wearing a baseball cap under his thing. Strike 2 and 3.
And the fact that their suits don't match.
Well, actually, I've seen some at the same thing have different, because different order, lots come out looking differently for different sizes.
If you have a group of true FEMA or CDC personnel in an area, everybody in that group is going to be issued the same equipment.
Well, I'm talking county health. I've seen the ones from county health. They'll get the best prices they can, and they'll order from different manufacturers. And the suits will look a little bit different because, for one size, a large comes from one manufacturer, and the extra large they got from a different manufacturer.
Right, but they're all labeled the same. If they're for FEMA, they'll say FEMA on
Oh,
it.
yeah, they'll say female. They'll have that on it. Yeah.
And if it's from the CDC, it will say CDC on it.
But
Not
if, but if,
MSL and whatever the hell the other one says, because I
yeah.
can't read.
Yeah, if they're from the county health, though, you also want to see their county health badges and say, slide into the door. I'm going to call and make sure you are who you say you are.
No, because the badge is supposed to be visible.
Yeah, the badge should be they have on a lanyard, but yeah,
it has to be made visible.
Yeah,
that's the requirement for it. You got 4 words for everyone. Is it pew 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 pew? Delta Papa?
and it's probably turn around and leave.
No, it's going to be more like this. Excuse me, what'd you want?
Yeah. Get off my property. The
aforementioned sounds.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too works is I was already tested. We're all contaminated in here. Yeah. That usually right there say, oh, you're already, oh, okay, we're out of here. Oh. And if the female on it is hand printed with a marker, it's a bad sign. I would bet someone has already tried that one.
I didn't do nothing, Kathy. If the CDC shows up, there'll be 100. Not necessarily, because they're already running pretty thin as it is. They'd have to hire a whole bunch of new people.
Yeah.
Now, I've volunteered to help them on a few minor conditions. One, my son is kept in a safe, clean room, and I do mean clean room, and we're talking computer grade clean room while I'm out and about, and he is to be monitored and taken well care of. Second, I go there armed, not going anywhere unarmed. Third, I'm driving, nobody else. I'll go out and help them.
All right, out of garden.
Bye-bye. See you.
See you later. Wayne Day will leave naked. Oh, what was it? Lori said if they said they wanted to come in, she'd answer the door naked.
Yep, she did.
She said that.
She sure did.
All right. I think we've covered everything we really need to cover on this one here tonight. We've gone a little far afield. We've covered, but it's still important information we've been covering here.
Nah, it's never important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tibor may have said it as well. Tibor's crazy Buckeye person. He just might do it. You know, those people down in the Buckeye, they nuts. That's the only way they can stand to live here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Oops.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Deween.
Okay, let me go ahead and throw this one other one.
My Facebook posts. I found yesterday a letter I sent to Mr. Dewine 2 years ago. And I chastised him for changing his stance on Second Amendment rights. He still hasn't gotten back to me on that one either. Good night, Howie. He
was probably going, oh, I was caught. So, guys, one last final shot here. So, if you go to theassetcenter.com, spelled out theassetcenter.com, free documents right here, free documents. Click on it.
Excuse me.
And there's the communications. My communications presentation is it in there, I believe, as well as everything else. Communications talks about, got a bunch of stuff talking about it, and then talks about, yeah, it has some documents in here as well on the stuff and how communications work. Go back one. Got all stuff in your fire emergency kits here. Household hazmat right here. That's the one that used to be on the FEMA website. One for personal safety. Planning for emergencies.
Personal safety, pew-pews, or in Julie's case, butter knives.
Yeah. Okay. I had a malfunction on that one. Dang it.
Uh-oh.
I have to go in there and fix that. But I know another place you can find all the stuff on it. Preparedness Fair handouts. Go to the Shelley Preparedness Fair. And there's the PowerPoint that I did at DHS for planning for emergencies. And those are the spreadsheets and stuff that goes with it, and the video for the SMART goals. And then there's the emergency communications information as well. So those are all downloadable for free. Everything in their free documents here, all these things, everything in there is downloadable for free about floods, food storage, ham radio, water storage, everything. So.
Well, thank you, Delta. I'm sure he appreciates that thought. It's not always the gesture that is actually appreciated. It's the thought behind it. So thank you. I'm sure. Well, that's not the only thing she's throwing money at. Now she's trying to get reparations for the immigrants who are stuck here because of this thing that's going on. We need to give them lots of money too. No, they're not residents. Now, mind you, I've worked with a bunch, and they are hardworking people. Well, I don't take nothing away from their work ethic. But if they came here illegally, that's violating the law. You should not give rewards to those who do bad, stupid things.
Yeah.
And if you broke the law, that's a bad, stupid thing. You don't reward them for it.
Exactly. All right. So, folks, let's see what we got here. One thing here to throw up here real quick.
Oh, Wayne, I don't have any glass ones, but I do have a bunch of Prego and pickle jars that I could put little teeny holes in and fill them up with liquor. If you get
okay. Alrighty. I think we're about good here. So, folks, the next thing up here is coming up on Friday. And Friday is going to be talking somewhat a little bit along this line of stuff, is going to be Red Dragon. Is it a SHTF event or whatever?
And that's tomorrow.
And then Saturday is talking about how we respond to people in events. Is it a handout, a hand up, or an empty hand?
Or
that's part of the empty hand.
No, that's my hand full of day face.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, maybe, possibly. I haven't confirmed it yet. It's still tentative, but Doc Bones has agreed to meet on my channel tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
Cross your fingers, folks, that he'll make it.
But that is also dependent on if Nurse Amy's feeling better. No, she doesn't have the dragon, but she's overworked, a little stressed out, and needed some rest. So I'm not going to push him for it. So
yeah, sort of like Reed was being overworked.
Because they've been busy packaging and packaging and packaging. And for the last couple of days, Doc himself's been doing it by himself. So
yeah,
if you pray, throw a prayer their way.
Yeah. All righty, folks. With that, we're going to go ahead and say bye-bye. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, Kathy, for all your hard work getting all the websites out there, the links and everything for everybody. Guys, if you missed any of the links, come back and just scroll through and check out where some of the links you put out there, some really good informational links. All righty.
Bye-bye.
And we will see you next time.